You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I couldn't even wait till I had a notification available for this. I had to talk about this because I got up and found this news had broke overnight, and I was like, wait a minute now. I was led to believe that Mike McDaniel, he didn't want any head coaching jobs. That he was good. He was going to the Chargers. That's why he pulled out of the running for the Browns, because he decided he was going to go be an OC for a year under Jim Harbaugh. And he may. So that wasn't the Browns' fault. It wasn't the Browns' fault that Jesse Minter pulled out. It wasn't the Browns' fault that Chris Shula said nah from the get-go. We just discovered that yesterday out of nowhere, that the Rams defensive coordinator, who honestly next to Mike McCarthy may end up being the Steelers' next coach, that he literally told the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam, no, from the very, very beginning. We were all led to believe. And by the way, Mike McDaniel pulled out of the Browns running, and the Browns lost their Rooney Rule leverage, because now they got to interview in person 2 minority candidates. Regardless of how absurd I think that rule is, it's still the rule right now. You can't hire anybody on the spot if you wanted to. Somebody could come in and wow you, and you can't do nothing about it. Falcons, Titans, Giants, they got that bunk out of the way real fast so they could pull the trigger if they wanted to and make sure a guy doesn't leave the building. Well, Jesse Minter was going to be the Ravens coach. Look, Jimmy Haslam fancies himself as the Temu version of Jerry Jones. Oh, Flying J, Pilot J, Flying Circus, whatever it is that he commands up there, that he's got all this money, the Temu Jerry Jones, the Wish version of Jerry Jones. He fancies himself a swinger. Oh, Deshaun Watson don't want to come here? Let me pull out my pocketbook. Let me show him how big my pocketbook is. Let me pull it out and lay it on the table. Well, the fact is, if you were willing to pay the shit tax, and that's what you got to pay when you're a terrible franchise, if you want to get a Jesse Minter or a Sean McDermott or somebody, a Chris Shula, or somebody that you think, and this should be really and truly, it should be Sean McDermott's job. The moment he became available, the fact that you came so close to hiring one time already, and you found out that bit you in the ass, and he turned around the Buffalo Bills that had not been in the playoffs for whatever it was, 17 or 18 years. Sean McDermott comes in there, makes playoffs first year with Tyrod Taylor. Just like that, installs a new culture, douches it out, puts in a new culture. Takes the Bills to the brink. Well, he couldn't get them into the promised land. The Browns can't even see the promised land right now. Get you a guy that can take you to the promised land and get you on actual land. Become competitive for your division. Then worry about who can take you over the top. Right now, you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Mike McDaniel just made the Browns look like idiots. The Bills, they're interviewing Mike McDaniel today. Now, again, Browns led us to believe, no, well, it's not us. It's not? Well, he wanted a Chargers job. He did? Funny. Because he's going to interview with the Bills today. He has not accepted that Chargers job yet. He's agreed to it if he doesn't get a head coaching job. If the Browns are turning away and not willing to spend money, etc., because they need a guy that they can puppet, and that's what these young guys will be. That's what Andrew Berry wants. That's why I said yesterday, I can't believe I'm going to say it, Jimmy Haslam needs to get involved. Mike McDaniel's slated to be the OC in the 2026 season for the Chargers. That remains a possibility as Albert Breer of SI.com reports that McDaniel will interview with the Bills for their vacancy on Friday. The Bills have conducted 3 other interviews since firing Sean McDermott. McDaniel spent the last 4 years in the AFC East as the Dolphins head coach. Now, over here, McDaniel withdrew from consideration only from the Browns opening. So he's still interested in the Raiders job. This is a direct shot at Jimmy Haslam, Andrew Berry, and the rest of the front office that has made this team an undesirable destination, and it's impossible to blame McDaniel. And I got to be real with you. McDaniel's offense with Shadur, I'd have liked to see that. Because he actually made, for the large part of 4 years, he actually made Tua look competent. Little bitty Tua, little guy, prior to all the CTE hitting him in the face, for lack of a better way of putting it. Sanders showed in college he could be very accurate. Well, that's what Mike McDaniel offense. That's what it does. Is it plots open the first read. That's the thing Kyle Shanahan's so good at, and the run game. Both of them. They're the same tree basically. McDaniel's a direct descendant. Kyle Shanahan. See, here's the thing. None of these guys will take themselves out of the running if the owner is willing to outspend the other owner. It's that simple. Well, Jesse Minter's going to get whatever. 5 years, $80 million. Well, if you're a Browns fan, it's not your money. Why not Jimmy Haslam give him 5 years, $100 million? He ain't turning down 20 extra million. Mike McDaniel, well, I don't know if I want to go mess with that Browns mess. Jimmy Haslam's on the phone to the agent. We'll give him 5 years, $90 million. Mike McDaniel, Cleveland's looking good. I hear they're getting a new stadium. Sean McDermott. I'm not going to Cleveland. 5 years, 120. Major League's one of my favorite movies. I mean, I'm just saying. It's wow. Jimmy Haslam really sat in front of people at a press conference and said, the Browns aren't dysfunctional. Well, you see, Mike McDaniel, he doesn't want to be a head coach. He wants to take a year off, go be a OC, then circle back around. No, that was dog shit. That was a lie. He wanted to be an OC. He said, F the Browns, I'm out. It's that simple. Going to interview with the Bills today. Wow. Tell me what you think. Black and White Sports supporters, make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. If you're a new watcher, subscribe to begin with. Thanks for watching. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.